brains, one cell, two brains, one cell, two brains, one cell, two brains, one cell.
Haven't done that in a while. You know, clap. Oh, wait. Carson has the clap. Sorry, I'm just going to put this out there as we're starting. Carson does indeed have the clap. What are you putting on?
It's my director's vest.
What the fuck? Where did you even get that?
That box of vintage stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it also comes with a little...
I want you to look into the camera.
Wait!
Oh, I didn't even think about it. I really wanted to pull the drawstring. The jawstring, yeah. The draw.
On the back.
Yeah, just let it cinch to your fucking skull. I was about to say, you might want a mic.
Barely knew her.
Shout out Alexis.
Shout out Alexis.
Hey, it's a thing now.
She commented on the last episode a couple times, but I'm not going to tell you what she said because you can go look for it. And you can find out if she liked or didn't like it.
Something about Germans.
Something, it's like I'm trying to get you to engage on our podcast or something like that, to go look at a different thing and like her comment or something.
That's so crazy. And yeah, Alexis, we're going to keep using your name as a segue.
Yep.
It's the easiest thing, by
It's
the way. Because shout out Alexis. We were going to talk about your St. George. See how easy that worked? See how fucking flawless that was?
Yeah, shout out Alexis. So St. George,
I'm pissed that it works. So shout out Alexis.
No, I like I said, I didn't have much of very many stories, but there a couple key things here was.
You should also know, was this a family trip?
Yes, my whole family, almost everybody. I think Nisha and Isaac couldn't make it, so
it wasn't fun.
yeah. Well, Braxton was there.
My statement remains. Nisha and Isaac weren't there.
You're right. So we used to go on these trips to St. George all the time as like when we were younger.
I remember that.
And it was like, even when I was in elementary school, like I remember vividly playing with my DS with my aunt and uncle that are around my age. They also had DS. And so we would all do that thing where you could get together in a Picto chat.
Yep.
And we would sit there and we would like draw things and send it to each other, and then we'd play Mario Kart together and stuff like that. It was so cool.
Whenever I was bored in the car and I had my DS, I wasn't very good at art, so I would just see how quick I could fill the whole
screen. Yeah. That was also a big one because we would use the rainbow color and color the whole screen, and then we would like.
Oh, I would just do black.
Or because you can do the stickers.
Yeah.
When you're doing it, you just cover the whole screen in stickers and stuff like that. And
the days of the DSi,
that
shit got crazy.
That's what I had because I had the camera. I could take pictures.
I blew out that microphone.
Oh yeah, I still have recordings from when I was younger. Like there's one from a tradition that me and Braxton and like all the guys used to have for Black Friday, is we'd all the dudes would get together, and like all the kids would be there too, so they'd take care of the kids once they're asleep. All of the dudes would start playing games. It was just full game night, and it didn't matter. They would be different consoles, TVs. I'd be on my DS thinking I was a part of it.
Yeah.
And
I was about to say, that's funny that you would put the kids to bed to then play games.
Yeah, well, they were more violent games. And so we didn't
Teach
really
them
want
young.
we didn't want because I think it was all girls except for Caleb, and Caleb was
So it was all girls.
a baby. Caleb was like a little baby, so if anything, he probably could have just been laying. He still is. Still is.
The biggest baby.
He's a whiny baby, but
Beautiful dogs.
he died like a dog. Well, fuck, where was I? Oh yeah, and so I had my DS one of these times. It used to always be at Dustin's house. And one of the times Dustin had to go out with them and do all the shopping, so Braxton had me and his friends went over there. So imagine us at like 16 to 18-ish. I can't remember what time it was for him, having a bunch of our friends over at like a brother's house.
Yeah.
And then just being able to just have a great night, and then just the little guy also there having fun.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was playing on my DS, and Braxton always had this voice that he does, and and so you'll hear him go. You hear me first go, "Oh my gosh," and then you hear him go, and it's just yelling stuff, and it is the funniest thing because I remember like the scene. Like I was sitting on the floor in between the kitchen and the living room. And he was sitting on the couch playing a game or something or talking with his friend, and I just went, "Oh my God," and he just starts yelling. And on one of those, I have a couple of those on the DS, and
Oh
you
my
can
God.
hear him doing that voice and just peeking the fuck out of the microphone.
Oh my gosh! Naked Hendon and the bare nakedness of the Hendon naked of the bare Hendon of the itching bare feminine.
And it's so funny.
The video I sent you last week.
Yeah, it
Holy
peeked the fuck out of
fuck!
it. I was like, how did you do that?
I used 110% of my fucking voice box.
Yeah, holy shit.
And it went through my car speaker or microphone.
Yeah, I was going to say, it had to have been your microphone that's connected to your car.
Yeah, because he saved it in chat so I could listen back to it. Holy fuck!
It just peeks the fuck out of it.
It's like I have not done that to a microphone since I've spent like $2 on a microphone.
I haven't done that on a microphone since last week.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been able to do funny mic on the camera recently.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, those camera mics are the best funny mic.
Yeah, because they're so bad.
Yeah. And you can just switch to it so easily and just...
And it just peeks the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
And
like
it
that.
Yeah, like that. Anyway, shout out Alexis.
Shout out Alexis.
So St. George, there were these condos specifically that we stayed at a ton.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember what they're called, but they're right next to a golf
Condos?
course. And every single year, like every time we would go, there would be frogs all over the place. Frog.
Can you send me Frog Tower picture?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And there were the frogs, lizards, snakes, and bats all over the place. Like, oh my,
Oh me, oh my.
And it was the best time because we would go out at night and it was warm, so I'd be wearing like shorts, and I would be wearing
Full parka.
I'd be wearing shorts, and I would have a hoodie on top, which is always the greatest pair. It's a great combination.
That's
shorts
just
and a hoodie.
That's just the white boy Utah look.
It's just great. It's a good pair.
No, it's not.
It's a good apple.
No, because every time I see a kid that just has basketball shorts and a hoodie on in the dead of winter, I want to kick him.
Oh yeah, not in winter. It's when it's in like the summer night kind of thing.
That
I
makes
like
a little
that.
more sense.
Yeah,
Because
if it's in the fucking winter, I want to like blow their kneecaps out. Like,
exactly. It's like, obviously you don't fucking need them.
Yeah, I want to shoot a potato cannon at their kneecap and
Fucking, you could
just explode.
You
that
could take
shit.
a BB gun to it. It's so fucking cold, it's gonna shatter. Motherfucker thinks he looks
He's up there
tough.
making the shivering, like the bone shivering
Chattering.
sound.
Yeah. It's like every kid that does that, they think they look cool. Every other person's like, they must be a cold.
God damn it, Cade.
I did it on purpose too.
But I had that combination, and it was the best because I would go over and I would catch a frog, and then I'd freak the fuck out because A, I thought I'd be getting warts. Yeah. And B, it was pissing on me. So, or whatever, it leaks liquid, when it freaks the fuck out. So I'd catch one and it would start leaking into my hand, and I'd be like, if I hold this for any longer, I'm going to start getting warts on my hand or something. And so then I'd be like, guys, look, and I'd show them, and then it would I would jump away, and I'd be like, oh, thank God. And I just like wipe my hands on my fucking shorts or something.
Depending on the frog, it's typically poison.
Right. These ones are definitely not poisonous. And
They're just gooners.
Yeah.
They gooned you.
Mm-hmm.
They gooned
They
all
did,
over.
all over me.
Carson
And-
got gooned by a frog. Multiple frogs, as a matter of fact. Imagine getting gooned by multiple frogs.
Cut. Let's try that again.
What? Did I fail my line?
No, you improvised a little too much.
Should I? Well, what direction do you want me to take it instead?
I don't know. What was your line again?
So it's about the frogs.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I already fucking forgot. Like, I forgot the fucking word I was saying.
Goon.
Goon. Yeah, it was about gooning frogs. Frogs were gooning on him.
You know what? Let's just cut the whole scene. We'll try something else.
Can I goon on you?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hey, we're going to take 5.
We're gonna take 5 and just start gooning, dude.
4.5 minutes for rest.
30 seconds of gooning, 4.5 resting.
I do my sets of goon.
3 sets of 30 seconds of gooning.
Shout out Alexis.
Shout out,
So,
Alexis.
St. George.
There was one time where I had caught a lizard at the pool.
Nice.
Like, it just kind of let me, obviously, because they can run really fast.
Yeah.
And I had caught it. It was a decently sized one, too. Like, some of the ones I got a picture of are only, like, yay big, you know? But
Mhm.
this one was, like... And I was a kid, so it could have been bigger to me at the time, too. But it was a bigger lizard, and I picked it up, and it wasn't, like, freaking out or anything. And so... I showed my mom and I showed like the family and stuff like that, and they were like, "That's so cool," whatever. So then I went and sat in a chair and I was holding it, and then I like set it down on my chest and it just stayed there.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, this is chill as fuck, dude." And so then I just laid in the sun with this lizard, and we were both just soaking up the rays. It was the coolest thing ever.
Some lizards sun hibernate.
And this one, I'm pretty sure, was like it had to have been real close to death because. Why would you not just book? Like it was in a bush, like under a bush, and I like walked over and I was just like,
Oh.
it just didn't take off, and I was like, all right. And then when I set it there, it was just chilling.
Just chill.
Yeah. And at one point, I think it like moved up to my shoulder, and then I was like, where are you going?
It starts moving. You just
I just punched the fuck out of it. I bite the head off. Cut.
That would have been such a perfect moment. It's almost time too.
That would have been great.
Would have been so great. And cut. Damn it.
And I think I ended up. I had a very emotional moment when I had to let it go.
Really?
Yeah, like I think I had kept it in like a container. Like we had a specific like animal catching container. That
I was about to say, did you put this lizard in a fucking Tupperware?
That would be so sad.
Yeah.
But no, we had like we had these ones that we bought specifically for the trip because of how many times prior to this we would go catch them and then just let them go.
Yeah.
And so then we were like, we should just keep one and have it for like the majority of the trip and then let it go before we leave. And so this time we had brought these like actual like, and it had like the little glass top that you could open and feed them if you wanted to and close it, and then the actual top did come off. So we had one of those, and
yeah, I used to have those for like the crickets.
yeah,
I kept.
for the crickets and stuff. Yeah, and then this one was like this one was like a big circle, which I
Okay.
thought was a lot nicer for
An actual.
and like a little animal, and so
Yeah, fuck crickets.
fuck crickets, dude.
Chirp,
Fucking
chirp.
eat those
fucker.
shits. I was gonna make a meme yesterday.
Oh, you were gonna goon.
Dude, I was gonna make a silly little meme for you,
Uh-oh.
and it was gonna be the Summer Madness song with Joji,
Mm-hmm.
and it was gonna be when I'm a doctor and I lost all my patients, and it's gonna be last night I lost all my patients.
When I lose my medical license.
And I was gonna send it to you, but it was as I was getting out of my car on my break, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Nah.
It would have been all that work just for you to be like,
So is that why you just randomly sent what you sent instead?
what did I send?
You just randomly said, hey, NASA called.
Oh yeah. No, I sent that because I don't. Oh, my headphones died while I was doing like the last little bits of my work that I had to do that are really easy to do.
Yeah.
And so instead of being able to like listen to music while I'm doing these last few things, I had to just be in silence, and it was killing me. And so I was just randomly, I kid you not, I was just doing this task, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, NASA called and they said, shut up. And then I was like, I gotta send that to Kate. And so when I got done with one of them, I pulled out my phone and I was like, hey, NASA called. And they said, shut up.
Sorry, let me get to the... Yeah, he sent that to me, and I was just like, all right. I just said, that's weird, because they also called me, too, and said to tell you to lower your damn voice.
And then I said, oh, yeah, well, 2001 called, and they also said, shut up.
He misspelled up and had to send it again. Just want to let you know. Oh, yeah, well, I also got a call from 2001. They said, holy shit, they hit the second tower.
And I said, no, they didn't. It's August.
I'm obviously talking about tilted towers. Keep up, Grandpa. And I used emojis for that one.
Hey, that wasn't till a decade later. You're so 2000 and late, dude.
And I said, nah, I'm 2000 because I ate. With a dancing emoji.
Which, when you sent that, I sat there and I was like, fuck, that's so good.
Right.
That's so good. And I said, no, that's 2008.
And I said, nah, that's when I used to masturbate.
Is it onto a JFK souvenir plate?
Didn't look at his face because I'm hella straight. I didn't say cuz.
And then I said, was there any face left to look at?
Yeah, this is when Carson just fucked off with rhyming.
I got distracted. I was working.
So was I. Nah, I broke that shit with a bat.
And then I said, was there... Wait. Oh, I said, oh, not a gun?
Nah, that's no fun.
Oh, a big spork then.
I said a bat. Don't clip that.
So I screenshot it, and I said, that's getting clipped.
I said, God fucking damn it.
And I sent him this glorious picture of SpongeBob, and I said, nice one. Don't clip that.
That's getting clipped. Yeah, so that was just random. Honestly, I don't know where the fuck you came up with JFK souvenir plate.
I was walking, I think I had just taken some garbage out, so I was walking back into the building, and I was like, what's some really weird type of plate that I could just throw in there? And I was like, it's just got to be some like presidential, because I remember, and this is a really weird line of thinking, okay?
It already was.
I remember in American Dad, I think is what it was, he collects souvenir president plates.
What the fuck?
And he has like a room full of them. And I couldn't remember which one he was missing, so I just picked the president. And I thought JFK.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that was my line of thinking.
I gotta be honest. There's some bangers in here.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
Do you want to hear what me and Keithan?
No.
Keithan.
How about that? You just found a new name. Shout out Alexis.
Shout out Alexis. So Ethan has he broke up with the lady he was talking to.
I didn't know he was dating someone.
Yeah, that's why me and him haven't hung out very much. He started talking to this lady. The last time I hung out with him, the last time was me and him at Alleged, and he was talking about, he was like, this she's like awesome. And he was like, but she has a kid. And he was like, would it be weird like if I was like a stepdad? And I was like, no. I was like, if certain friends of ours can have children,
Yeah.
I'm so sure you can handle being a stepdad. Like,
You didn't have to deal with the rough part of the child.
you're right. And then I was like, also, it's a little boy. He can be your little special buddy.
It's gonna be sick as fuck.
He can be your sweet little buddy. And
And while he's small enough, you can use him as a shock put. Get some fucking reps.
you
in.
can make him go get your beer for you.
Yeah. You don't even need to build a robot to go do that. That's what you have kids for.
And so then the next time I saw him was at Alleged again, when he told me he'd called me, and he was like, because I think I was at Kamikazes with Mom or something like that, and he was like, hey, you should come over.
Where'd this plane come from?
He was like, you should come hang out with us over at Alleged. And I was like, you should come up to Kamikazes. They're doing live music and stuff. And he was like, and then Hannah was on the phone too, and she was like, you should come hang out with us and all this kind of stuff. So then when my mom
Shut up,
wanted to
Discord.
leave, then I ended up talking to them, and I get up there, and Ethan is with that girl, which blew my mind because later I found out that she had English with us. In Saunders, she had English with us. I had no idea who this woman was ever, okay? And then when I saw her, I was like, it's so weird because all of my friends know who you are, but I don't think I've ever met you. And she goes, we had English together. And I was like, Saunders? And she goes, yeah. And I go, who? What? And then she started talking about you.
Huh?
And I was like,
Who is this bitch? Oh my god.
yeah. So I was like,
No fucking way he was talking to her.
yeah. And I had no idea who she was. And so when she said that, I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my fucking god.
Because
That
she
is so
remembered
funny.
it felt, and I feel so bad for saying this. So I doubt she'll ever watch this, but it felt like being in. Have you ever watched Amazing World of Gumball?
Some.
There's a bunch of the episodes. It's obviously just about Gumball and their family and everything, and then there's an episode about how all of these random side characters that were like in the background of one episode are all. It's like all about these side characters in it. And that's what this felt like.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like me and you were the main characters, like, dicking around in that class being stupid. And then finding out, she was like, yeah, I remember that one time that when Cade was reading in front of the class. And I was like, no fucking way.
Did she actually bring that up?
I think I might have said something
Okay.
about it.
I was like, no way. The only reason people still remember me is because I went, ye old cock, in front of class.
But yeah, we started talking about the class, and I was like, this is the weirdest thing ever, because I genuinely
She transferred out midway.
do not remember her at all.
She didn't show up to class. She transferred out midway through.
Well, that helps a little bit.
I think she transferred to online school or some shit.
But I had no clue who she was.
That is funny.
And so it was wild to me when we were talking, like when our friends would show up there and they'd be like, hey, and they'd start talking to her, and I was like, how does everyone know who this bitch is?
Right. That is funny.
And so they were together for a little bit, then they broke up, and I didn't even know about it until a couple weekends ago. The last time I was at Alleged, I saw her, and I was like, where the fuck is Ethan?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, we broke up. And I was like,
Oh.
what? When? And we started getting into it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't heard from him at all. So I was like, oh, this is, okay.
Did he kill himself?
And so then I had texted him, and I was like, why did I have to find out from your ex that you guys broke up? I was like,
Yeah.
this is fucked, man. What's going on? Are you okay? Like, and I tried talking to him, and he was very short for a while. Then he hit a growth spurt, got real tall.
Shut up.
And so I haven't heard from him for a long time, and then I texted him and I said something like, I miss you, or something like that, something funny. And then
you, Pookie.
something came up.
Just-
It was like a memory or something.
Just send him careless whisper.
Yeah. And he said, I miss you, guy. And I said, no, I miss you. And he said, wrong. I am of the missing of you. And I said, shut the fuck up. You're wrong. I miss you. And he said, shut your whore mouth. I'm right. I miss you. And I said, no, fuck you. I miss you so much. And he says, fuck off, bitch. I miss you, damn it. And I said, no, jackass. I fucking miss you. And he said, I miss you, face fuck. And then I said, and like I used all caps and I lowered the size of it. And I said, I miss you, you piece of shit. And he said, I miss you, you goddamn fucker. And then I said, hey, shut up. I miss you. And he said, make me shut up while I miss you. And I said, I'm going to miss you so hard you can't help but shut up. And he said, you're not going to be able to. He said, you're not going to be in a dog pile of my missings or something like that. So we're so back, baby.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I lost brain cells listening to it. What the fuck?
Yeah. And
I throughout you reading that, I thought of minimum 3 jokes. They're gone now. Like every single funny thing I could have thought of is just gone.
you know what happened is my words like actually physically came out of my mouth and fit into your ear. They squoze in
It feels like I got punched
and
in
pushed
the brain.
and it pushed the other stuff out.
Nope, it just was your words again.
You're like, oh no, that was one of your farts. You're like, now, oh, I got stinky brain.
God damn it!
Oh,
Oh, brain
dude.
stink.
Dude, that stinks so bad, my brain's losing wrinkles, dude.
Oh shit!
But shout out Alexis.
Shout out Alexis.
St. George was a good time.
Fuck that story, I guess.
Okay, the reason why I started so far back on that story was because my mom got a condo there again. And every single time we've stayed there, we've stayed with there's 2 rooms and a bed that either comes out of the couch.
You know what's funny?
What?
You're starting this story right now. The camera's about to cut.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's either
You look like an alcoholic.
hey, it's 0 sugar root beer.
They don't know that.
Well, they do now.
Camera's not on.
But the audio is.
Hey, he's lying.
Don't look at me.
He's holding a Coors Banquet.
Don't look at me.
He's an alcoholic. He just grabbed another.
It's the Fallout. Yeah,
That was good.
and then with like the cap sound too.
You just put it in your pocket and you just see a cap counter go up.
Dude, last night I reached 56,000 caps on
Jesus
Fallout 4.
Christ. See how easily I just derailed everything?
I know, because now I want to talk about Fallout, especially because we're episode 111.
Uh-huh.
Welcome to Vault 111.
Nice one, dude.
Fucking good one.
Nice one, dude.
Fucking good one, idiot.
I'm really good at cooking for some reason.
Those clips are so good.
So good.
Damn.
Shout out Alexis.
Shout out Alexis.
Um,
Honestly, this episode's probably still going to be like a 45 or video.
So I'm
Shout out Alexis.
trying to think of how I can speed this along. So there's usually, it's a 2-bedroom and a pull-out bed, whether it's from a couch or like the wall or something. And usually a family member will stay in the other room, whether it's like aunt, uncle, whoever stays in the other room. Mom takes the other one with Caleb, and I have the bed that comes out of the couch or whatever. And fond memories of watching Ghost Adventures out in the living room on that bed and getting absolutely fucking terrified.
I was about to say, that seems awful.
Yeah, I would literally just scare the shit out of myself and wouldn't be able to sleep.
Yeah.
And then the next morning we'd wake up at like 6 a.m. to go to Zion and go hiking, and I would be like,
There's ghosts in the house.
yeah, Ma, you got my granola bar?
That's a ghost orb.
Yeah, I'm like half asleep, and I'm like,
Theories!
it's a ghosts. No, I go, I'm Zach Baggins, and this is
And this is
Ghost Adventures.
the theme song starts playing
Yeah.
out of your mouth. Just perfect pitch.
Anyway, this time we got the same condos because my grandparents ended up actually just buying a timeshare there,
Oh,
so they can just stay there at certain times throughout the year that they want to. And
very nice.
so then my mom got one of the condos for the time we were out there, and she was like, well, that just means that we can do the same situation, and either like Braxton and Whitney can take it with Walker, or Nisha and Isaac can take it, or like it's just anybody that wanted to take it could take it. But
I think that was your mom telling you to get a girlfriend.
we still would be sleeping on that goddamn
Oh,
pull-out
I
bed.
know.
But
Ow. I just mashed the microphone into my teeth into that.
oh, ow.
That didn't feel great.
And so as we were like discussing this, apparently everybody got a huge Airbnb together, like everybody else.
Yeah.
So that left me, my mom, and Caleb in this condo. So I ended up just getting the bedroom. Caleb took the couch. He didn't even use the bed. He just used the couch.
Oh.
And then my grandma and grandpa stayed just a couple condos away from us. And then everyone else was like fucked off 10 minutes away. And the best part about staying at the condos was that we were all together. So if we all wanted to go swimming whenever, we would all just go run into the pool. Like
Yeah.
whenever we wanted to do, or if like certain people wanted to go shopping and leave, they would go shopping and leave. And like, so we had the ability to do like this fun little family thing where everyone can like divvy off as they please.
Yeah.
And then we could all together go to dinner and discuss it. Like just so close. It was awesome. So when this happened and my mom called it, she was like, they're all together out there. They're not going to include us when they plan stuff, or
Nope.
like they're going to go do something and be like, oh, we did this thing to invite you, like that kind of stuff. Which they did seem to happen a little bit, but and it made it difficult to plan things. Like when we were supposed to go hiking in the mornings, and we're like, all right, meet
Yeah.
at this Maverick, and we would meet at the Maverick, and everyone was so late. And like, because it's got to be hard. Can you imagine the rest of my family in one house trying to get ready to go hiking?
I would probably kill myself.
Yeah. So I was like, this is insane. Like I don't know why they didn't want to like come split the cost and stay with. I don't know. To me, it didn't make sense. And I think I'm the only one in my family that cares about nostalgia. And because that keeps happening a lot. Like we used to watch the Polar Express every single year, and we would always stop it to go have hot chocolate. And then at the end of it, we'd all get these bells to go hang on the Christmas tree. And then for some reason, and I think I know which family members are doing this, and they're not the ones that are blood related. And they would go. They switched it. Instead of watching the Polar Express, now we're watching what is it called? Family Vacation?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's the one with the guy who fuck, I don't know what it's called.
It's with the guy that fucks.
The cat gets electrified and then
Electrified?
electrified. And then
Cat in the Hat.
the brother of the main guy is like dumping the sewage from his RV into the sewer outside of his house. And it's got I can't remember their names. Damn
I
it.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, it's just one of these classic Christmas movies, and they switched to that. And in my head, I was like, I'm an adult, and I still don't care if we watch the Polar Express. Like at this point, it's like fun because it was my childhood. And it's the same thing with the condo. I was like, I like staying here because like we've swam in this pool since I was a kid. We've caught frogs here since I was a kid, and it was so sad because one of the nights. My mom and my brother were in the pool, and I was walking by myself trying to go find frogs out there, and I was like, this is really depressing. Like I was imagining like as a kid, like we had like all my aunts and uncles around, like and we're all looking we got our flashlights out, and we're like, oh my gosh, there's this, and we're all pointing stuff out, and then I'm just walking by myself with my phone light thinking, oh man, I hope no one kicks me off this golf course. Like and I was just like, this is kind of sad. And so then I ended up walking, and I just like walked back and forth a couple times, and then just went back to the condo and did nothing.
It's very weird for me because I'm on the side of I don't have nostalgia really because I blocked my childhood out.
I did for a lot of that, except for things like this, where it's like my
I don't have stuff like that.
family vacation stuff.
My family never did fun vacations, at least like an all together thing, because my family's really fucking boring. But
Yeah, and my family's really fucking close for some reason, and it's hard to see outside of that. Like
a lot of our family is close. It's just mainly me.
well, my family, we've all been doing this. Like, and this includes my uncles since they were kids too. So like, not only was it me having like this, living through this, it was my aunts and uncles that were also fairly young doing this since they were young. And all of us growing up having done this exact same thing. And so I thought that there would be some shared thing that they would want to stay at these condos, and I just is wrong.
Most people just don't even think about it.
I know quite a lot of people that are the same way. It's
Yeah.
just I think my family. I think when they get married and stuff like that, they
Stuff kind of moves on in a sense.
they kind of let their other spouse, like, I don't know. I could go into it forever, but we have limited time. So anyway, I was just really sad that happened, and there were like
in terms of other couples' compromises, your nostalgia suffered. I feel like that's the best way to sum that up.
And I wouldn't say mine did. I still had a fun time. It was just sad that I had to. Like, I was walking around by myself. I was like, nah,
Yeah.
this isn't as fun. It's still nostalgic as shit, but I was like, nah. It was better when I had all of my family with me doing this. But then we went to this little like, it's kind of like if we went to that Japanese friendship garden.
Yeah.
But like less than that. Like that Japanese friendship garden was awesome.
Oh my god, yeah.
But like if you can imagine like 3 to 4 steps down from that, It's free to walk in there and walk around, and it's all like the red rock stuff of St. George, and then just various plants and fish and
Yeah.
stuff in there. That's kind of what we went and walked around in, and it was just me, my mom. I guess Braxton and them did show up for a little bit, but we were there walking around for a little while, and I got a picture of a ladybug.
Nice. I think you sent me that one.
Yeah, I was like, it was a cute little ladybug.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got a picture of a lizard that was really up close. I just shot it with my phone, and then from that moment on is when I decided,
Picture
I'm
time.
getting as many pictures of critters that I can possibly get. Like, I am just dedicated now. And so I just, everything we, like on hikes, I mean, I gauged it depending on how difficult the hike was, if I would bring my camera or not.
Yeah.
But we went through, and I would just sit there and snap pictures of all sorts of fun little creatures and flowers and everything. And in that, I was like, because it all kind of snapped in at once. I was like, the nostalgia thing isn't very important to everyone else, so I'll just do my own thing. And then I was like, I'll catch pictures. So it kind of went with each other.
Yeah.
So that I can just go off, do my thing, take pictures and everything. And so that was what happened when I was like, I kind of just fucked off. It was because I was like, oh, there's a pretty cactus over there, and I just walk away from my family and then go start taking pictures of a cactus out there or something like that. And then usually that resorted in certain members of the family that wanted to keep up with me because I was usually ahead of them for the longest time on these hikes and stuff. I was usually really far ahead, and so that depends. Like, whoever wanted to also be up there was who I was with at the time.
God, whenever my family did hikes, we would have to stay together.
That was typically how it was.
Holy fuck!
For the longest time, everyone had to sit and wait for everyone to catch up.
No, we didn't even get to do that.
Oh.
We had to just walk slow.
Oh.
We would put the slowest fucker up front.
I mean, that'll keep everyone else slow.
Yeah,
honestly.
but it makes the hike
so much
awful.
longer,
yeah. Less
less.
enjoyable. You spend more energy because you have to move your legs technically more to move less.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we were never able to do that, so I just stopped going.
And I kept getting it started at first. I was like, I wanted to be up there because I'm just like, I'm quicker. I have no one to talk to like everyone else does. And I always feel like I'm bugging the shit out of Braxton and Whitney because I'm trying to talk to Braxton a lot, and Whitney doesn't get to talk to her husband. And
she gets him all the rest of the time.
I know. But I just get worried about it. So
like, you get joint custody of me. You get joint custody of fucking Braxton.
Fucking should, huh?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to bug him, and then like everyone else kind of had their people to talk to, whether or not it was like my mom and Dustin, or like just everyone had someone to talk to, and like even the kids did. And so then I was like, I'm gonna take these cool ass pictures, and so I just wandered off and would take pictures, and then everyone would catch up to me at some point.
Yeah.
And then kind of caught on to how I kept finding all these creatures. So she was like keeping up with me, and I would be,
of course it was her.
I would be really cool with it, but the issue was, like, I would have loved that if I could be like, all right, watch this, and like I could show her like,
But she would
chase him off,
Yeah.
or she would like just bolt at it, and like it was the most frustrating thing because there was at one point there was a squirrel, like a big fucking squirrel. This thing had been overeating. Like the humans in this trail had to have been feeding it, or it was picking things off of them or something.
Was it a pregnant squirrel?
It also could have been that as well. But it was a big fucking squirrel, and I sat there and I was like, damn, that thing's chunky. And so I noticed it and went to take a picture, and all of a sudden he goes, a squirrel! And then she like is pointing at it like dead stare, and I'm like, oh fuck. So I start to try and take pictures of it while it's standing there, and it was like a great shot because it was in between all these trees, and then it was just right in the middle of it. And I was like, this is gonna be so good. So I like knelt down and tried to zoom in and try to get the picture of it, and she was taking off after it, just running. And then she was like giggling about it and like thought it was funny. And mind you, her mom is there this whole time.
Yeah.
And so then it got to a point where she kept doing this over and over and over again. There was one hike where it was the one where I had my cucumber.
Oh my god.
And I finished eating that, threw it away, and then I was walking with like the pace of some of the family without talking to anyone again. And then I was like, I can see her up there chasing something away, like lizards and shit. And the thing is that she tries to catch them, but as soon as she gets really close, she freaks the fuck out and won't catch them.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with the frogs. Is the whole reason why we got those pictures is because she scared it over to her mom, and then her mom picked it up out of the water. And I had a picture of it framed up perfectly, and all you see is her hand in the water grabbing the fucking frog. And I was like, are you kidding me? And so, like, she, like, picks it up and then puts it in her hat and is, like, running it around to all these people showing them these frogs. And I was just like, awesome.
Yeah.
This is so cool. And then she's like, I want to show my dad, who was up the mountain, who had climbed across the face of a mountain up a waterfall, and he's trying to come back down, and she's like waiting with it in her hat. And I was like, you should put the poor things down. Like,
yeah.
And so she's running around with it trying to show, and I was like, good God. And eventually she puts it down, and then she keeps trying to, like, she puts it down and she won't leave it alone still.
Yeah.
And so it's trying to, like, go back to the water as it's slipping down part of this. It's not like a waterfall, but it's like
Slippery rocks.
yeah. And it's like going down those, and she's like trying to, I don't know what she's trying to fucking do. And so then that's when I got those pictures, as it finally settled in like a little puddle.
Yeah.
And so I got a bunch of pictures, and then I stood up, and all of a sudden I hear some kid go, there's frogs over here. And I was like, oh God, these poor fucking frogs, dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, one more before I go reset that. I saw her up there scaring stuff off, and so I went out loud. I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna go up front because I don't scaring off any good pictures I can take. And so I just sped walk in front of everybody and went in front of them and just like kept going really fast. And then they wouldn't leave me, like her and her mom would not leave me alone the whole time. And I was just like, the whole reason why I came up here was to make sure that you didn't scare them away, and you're doing just that.
Yeah.
And so we got to, I mean, I got some really good pictures regardless. And like the spiders.
That was really
They
cool.
were fucking sick. So I got tons of great pictures, and I ended up just kind of letting it happen near the end of it. And I don't know. It was a good trip. I know it sounds like I made it sound like it was kind of shitty, but I had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
I loved being out in the sun, and it was warm. I liked, those hikes are always fun for me just because I love the red rocks.
Yeah.
And I love just fucking around up there. And typically, like, when we go to the sand dunes that are up there in Snow Canyon, I'll go climb these rocks as high as I can. But the family didn't want to be there that long. So, like, we showed up, and we started walking, and I was like, wait, I want to get my camera because I could get some cute pictures of all the family playing in the sand dunes. Like, because we have some of the same pictures of us in the sand dunes from when we were kids. So I was like, this is a great moment. So I ran back, and so I got a bunch of pictures of Walker in the sand, and it is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
So cute. And then I got a picture of Jackson, my uncle, sitting in the sand, too. It was so funny. And so I took some pictures, and then as I was thinking, I was like, oh, I should walk over there, like journey off yonder and climb up those rocks, see how high I can go. And I turned around, got some pictures of the family, and then I heard some of them saying, like, okay, we're probably going to do blah, blah, blah. And I was like, really? Are they leaving already? Like, what? And so I, like, started to walk back, and Braxton and Whitney and Walker were getting ready to leave, which, honestly, Walker was covered head to toe. He was, like, laying in the sand and putting his face in the sand. Like, I have a picture, and his face is almost orange because of the sand.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that does make sense. He probably needs to get washed off.
Yeah.
And then I think I wanted to go to we went to the Petrified Dunes after that. And then, which I made a good dad joke. Maisie was like, how did this was sand at one point? How did that happen? How did it turn into this? And I go, someone scared it really bad. And it went right over her head. But I just sat there giggling.
That's pretty good.
And then we were going to go to the lava tubes like we always do. And the whole family was like, I think I want to go get lunch.
When's lunch?
And I was like, man, that means no one's going to come back with us. Because that means everyone's going to go eat lunch. Then they're not going to want to go hiking. And like, because I just know that that's how they work. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And so I told my mom, I was like, the one thing that I wanted to do this whole trip, I don't care what else we do, the one thing I wanted to do was go to Snow Canyon, and I wanted to go see those lava tubes again. And
They're fun.
yeah, and so then we went there, and then as soon as I got to it, it's like sun is going down. So as soon as we got to it, I went to go get down there, and there's a bunch of college kids climbing in there with some like little girl who's too scared to get back out of the hole.
Oh.
And so they're trying to get her out. And there's college kids in there trying to help her get out. And then there's two girls up top just yelling at her like, you can do it. and like all that kind of stuff. So I'm sitting on a rock waiting next to them, and they're taking forever.
Yeah.
Mom catches up to me, and we're both just standing there waiting. It's getting darker, and then she was like, "You just want to keep walking down the trail?" And I was like, "I guess."
Yeah.
So we start walking down the trail, and all of a sudden I hear Carson, and it was Dustin and everybody, that family. So then they caught up with us, and we just kept walking down the trail, just seeing what was up. And I found more tubes down there, and so I climbed. And this was very brave of me, not to toot my own horn, but I am really scared of tight spaces when it comes to rocks and shit like that.
Me fucking too.
And but I think because I really wanted to be in the lava tubes, I found one and I was like, I'm going in there. And I squoze my ass into this tiny fucking cave. Like I had to, like I kid you not, like slide with my chest touching a rock.
Nope, I couldn't do it.
And I got in there and it opened up a little bit more, but then I had to like almost crawl under another rock. And then again it opened up. I couldn't stand up, but I had like a little, like I had a kneel going, you know. And
I would have the quickest panic attack.
it started like I was panicking, and I was like, okay, I didn't panic going in. I started to panic a little bit when I was going out. But
When the second my chest like is
touching
between two
something,
things, my heart would be beating so fast I'd get trapped.
that's the thing.
Because it would just go poof.
It wasn't between the two. It was like I still had room, but I
But it
didn't
was
want to.
real fucking
Yeah, I didn't
close.
want to hurt my back on the rock, like scraping it or something. So I was like, I can like maneuver my chest around it and make it easier. But my chest was touching the rock as I was going around it and everything. And I have pictures of how small it was and everything. But I get in there, and Maisie follows me in there, and then Addie follows suit. And I have my flashlight on, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, there's a little bat. And there was just this cute little tiny little bat hanging from the top of the cave. And I was like, oh my God, that is so cute. And Maisie is losing her shit. She hates bats.
Yeah.
And so she's freaking out in this cave. And that's when I'm starting to panic a little bit, because I'm like, you need to get out. But Addie's coming in, so she can't get out. And then Addie finally was like, calm down. I have to go towards you. Then you can get out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank God. Someone can figure this out. And so then she got out, and me and Addie, I was taking pictures of it and everything. And the funniest thing, I'm down there like trying to take a picture. It's pitch dark because I have to try and use the flash. So it's just completely dark. And all of a sudden I hear, and I go, did you just fart? She goes, no, it's a duck. And then I just sat there and I was like, did she actually just fart right now? I was like, that's something I do. That's me.
Yeah,
I do that.
That's your thing.
In a tight cave like this,
That is your forte.
you just shit yourself right now. And so I was sitting there and I was like,
I'm proud of her.
it's like, you are my family.
Just not bad, kid.
Not bad, kid. And so then we start climbing out. And this time, this is where the panic sets in, because I have to actually put my arms straight out without being able to look forward. And I have to try and, like, get myself up. And it is freaking me out a little bit. Then I get through that part, and I go to reach up to grab a rock, and I kind of, like, bump my elbow a little bit. And then I hit my shoulder on something. It's just a little bump here or there, you know. And then I finally get my way out of there. And there's a bat that is swooping, like, in front of our faces now. And we have a video of that, and you can see me climbing out. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
It was fun down there until I saw
Addie?
that.
Bugs are going to be drawn to you because you didn't put on bug spray,
Yeah.
so that means the bat's going to be drawn to you.
So run.
I need to aim it right.
If it lands on me, does that make me Batman?
Yes.
At least. And you see, like, Addie ducks because it literally, like, swoops down. And by the way, as we were walking back, I found those little tiny jumping mice,
Mm-hmm.
really long tail, and they like to bounce around, like from Coraline.
Yeah.
I found one of those and got a video and a picture of that. And then as we were walking away, my mom got smacked in the side of the face with a fucking bat. Like, it just flew and hit her in the side of the face and flew off. And she freaked out. She was like, oh my God! Like,
Your mom got kamikazed by a
by a bat, yeah.
That's insane.
I was like, how did the sonar, like, just fuck up so badly that it hit a walking, talking human?
Yeah. The
And-
biggest noise and heat source.
in the whole area. But it was great. Like, and then as I was walking, I was like, oh, I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
And that's when I put on my story. I climbed into a cave and fought a cave shark.
That was pretty
I
funny.
thought it was really funny. I
was
was like,
pretty
this
good.
is goofy. I like this.
I like cave
This
sharks.
is silly goofy.
How do you like
And-
my caption on the spoon on my
On-
story? The melted one.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I forgot to save that picture of the spoon, and I'm pissed.
Fuck. Is it saved in our chat as like part of the stories?
I'm gonna check. That was a weird sound.
But yeah, if
Shout out
anything,
Alexis.
I did. Oh, I did Canaryville. This will be the last thing that I have to say about St. George. Canaryville.
Oh my God, it is. Thank you. I
Yeah.
love you.
But man, I keep saying that, and every time I say it, I want to say. Tss.
Man, that's
We did Canaryville, which when we first did it, that used to be a log tilted on top of a waterfall with like T-railing bolted into the log,
yeah. How do I? It won't let me save it out.
and
How do I do that?
weird.
Am I dumb?
But you would climb up these rungs on this like log that's just covered in water because it's next to the waterfall, and you'd climb up that, go to the next waterfall, climb up that, go to the next waterfall. You just keep going.
Yeah.
And you're walking in a river through slot canyons. It's so cool. And
Nice.
then recently, I think there was like an accident up there or something because it was really, you can't climb up that very much, or very easily, I should say.
Screenshot.
So there was an accident, and so they went up there and they installed, what is it? It's like a metal staircase with railing and everything. Like they installed
Yeah.
that next to one of the waterfalls, and then they just took one of the waterfall things away, like the things to climb up it away. And so the only way you can get up there is if you're a climber, and you really get up there. And I was like, if I didn't have my phone on me, if I didn't have these shoes that are literally tearing in half,
Yeah.
which for everyone, these shoes were already like the tip was coming off at the gym. Every time I do calves, it would like slide and it would pull the tip of it off.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. And so then I was like, here's my solution to not having hiking shoes. I'm just going to use these as hiking shoes. And I'm going to
The
buy
amount of pops.
Yeah,
It's-
that was nasty.
It felt so
In a good way.
It felt so fucking good.
I was like, I'm just going to use these, and I'll just buy new gym shoes at the Walmart out here, and we'll be good. So I did that, and then I noticed that as we were like talking. But as I kept using them on hikes, it would slowly get more and more ripped.
More fat.
And then when we were in the rivers,
Mind you, these shoes were fucked up when me and Carson went on our last 2 to 3 camping trips.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I don't think those are the same shoes.
No?
I think I used different shoes for that.
Okay.
I think because the ones that I used for those camping trips, they're now my lawn shoes. So they're still really fucked up.
Those ones are
But
fucked.
but they're now my lawn shoes. These ones are the gym shoes that I've been using since like high school.
So just as bad.
Just as bad.
Yeah.
And so now we're walking in the river where water's getting into it, and when I lift my foot out of the water, the
So
weight,
much.
the weight of the water's pulling it down and pouring out of it.
And it's ripping it further.
Exactly. And so we get to the top, and it's about halfway, and I almost have just a sock on, kind of.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I didn't have a ripped shoe, and if I didn't care about getting like just soaked in water, I would totally go climb up there and keep going. But I was like, I don't. And the water, by the way, was like 36 degrees or less.
Barely above freezing.
Yeah. And it was like it would hurt. Like when you're in the water, your feet are hurting because it feels like you're literally just getting stabbed a million times.
That's because atomically you are.
Yeah. And so it hurt to be in that water. And so all of us were like, if it was warmer, I had good shoes, then I would probably go up there. But by the time we were at the top of that first waterfall, we were all kind of like,
Fuck that.
I'm all right. And we climbed back down. I got some good photos there just on my phone, videos and stuff I can probably throw in.
Dick and balls.
Yeah, shout out Alexis.
Yeah, shout out Alexis. Ugh.
It was a good hike though, and after we got out of like the water area, I just took off.
I figured.
Like it was just me, my mom, Caleb, Dustin, Amanda, all them. And so after we got to a certain point, I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. Like, I'm just going to go. Because now I know what's in front of me. I can go at whatever pace I want to. So, and it's just now just a bunch of up and down on dirt. So I'm like, I'm out. And there was a couple that were walking in front of me. And they were going about the same speed I was.
Oh, that's infuriating.
So I couldn't quite speed up without going, like, really speeding up.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to slow down and then end up back up to them again. So I just kept a distance and a good pace where we just kind of stayed far enough away.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where I had stopped to like take a break. I think I had like a water or something. I don't know. But and then I look over and the couple has stopped, and as I was walking forward, I was like, why did they? And I stopped too because there was a deer on the trail. And I was like, man, if I was like as close as I was, like if we had switched positions and I was up there close to that deer, I was like, that would have been a perfect thing to add to the creatures that I had taken pictures of. But this time I just sat there and I was like, it's too far away. I'm not going to take a picture of this. And so I just stared at it and I was like, it's pretty cool though. And then it was funny because the couple like turned around and looked at me like to solidify that I also can see this deer. Like they looked back and then they like were like astonished and they like looked back and then looked at me and then looked back and then looked at me like and like they just kept looking back and forth.
Are you seeing this thing and it's home too?
Yeah. And then I just sat there and it was funny because I probably just was like this, like hunched over, and I was like,
they look back. They just
they look back. I'm so far away, and then they look at the deer and then they look back again and I'm really close.
You're just
doing
right
that.
there.
You guys see this too?
It's a moose.
You guys see this horse?
I didn't know this was bear country.
And then I ended up getting back to the truck and like sitting on the bed of the truck. I took my shoes off and it took everything in me not to rip the fucking rest of the shoe apart.
Oh, I'm sure.
I really wanted to just, but instead I took them off, took
You
my socks
hop
off. Yeah,
Shoes off.
that's what I wanted to do. But
And just keep the top part on.
yeah,
That would have been great.
but I was like, I'm just taking these off. I need to get my feet dry. And so I took them off, and then I just went and threw away the shoes. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, I really wanted to tear those apart.
Well, if you're going to throw them away, you should have.
I wanted to, but I was like, fuck it.
I was about to say, I don't think a single thing in the universe was stopping you.
No. It was just me being like,
Nah, whatever.
Yeah. And then from there, we drove home from there. So,
Gotcha.
like, we packed everything up from the condo, went to Canaraville, hiked it, came back, and started heading home.
Nice. Well, that's fun.
It was great. There was a plan at one point, though, for me and Mom to go to Mesquite and go get some alcohol. And we were going to go sit by the pool one of the days and just have at it. But
Yeah,
it just
didn't
ended
happen.
up turning up that way, yeah.
Well, shout out Alexis.
Shout out Alexis.
And if you're on Spotify, make sure you rate 5 out of 5 stars. Maybe do a Q&A, and sometimes there's polls available.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
While you're on Spotify, also go hop on over to CK Beats.
Damn right.
Follow.
Panic Attack is on there. It's on there.
It's on there. It's on there.
Go listen to that.
It's not on there. It's on there. On there.
It's on there.
Okay. And after you're done with that, hop on over to youtube.com/2brains1cellpod. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment like Alexis.
Be like Alexis.
Be
What
like
would Alexis do?
What would Alexis do? I think that's what I've been asking myself all week.
Yeah. What would she do?
And I have no fucking clue because I don't know who Alexis is.
I don't either.
But
she's cool as fuck.
But
because
yeah,
she listens to our podcast.
she's cool as
so
fuck.
you
Shout
know
out.
she's cool as fuck.
shout out. And after you're done with that, while you're on YouTube still, make sure you head over to CK Beats again.
Damn right.
Because that's where all the new stuff is.
Yep,
That's
that's
where the new.
Where all the new beats and shit will come out. And speaking of the CK Beats stuff, I think I'm gonna solidify Better Days coming out at the end of this month.
Perfect.
I just have to find album art for it.
Okay.
I can't figure out. I don't know what fits it very well. I tried to draw something for it, and it completely took a left turn. Like the image I had in my head
Was a right turn?
not nearly close to what I had. Like I wanted this cool, like cartoonish looking, like rubber hose. It's like the old cartoon style of me and Nix. And like I thought it would be so sick. And so then I opened up that like thing that I do all my cloud guys on. I opened that up and I started messing with that, doing like the shape thing again. And I ended up just making really, really bad versions of me and him on there, and then made it look like it was a mugshot.
Nice.
And because it's called Better Days, I thought it'd be funny if like we both have black eyes, we're getting like beat up, missing teeth. He's got a cut on his face, and it was gonna be us like arrested, and it literally says Retro Town Police Department.
And then it's just you dressed as shit cop in the back.
Yeah. And then I was like, maybe I can take this image and superimpose it onto like an actual picture of a car, or not a car, of like an actual picture of a lineup that you would see when you're getting your mugshot done. And then I was like, oh, this is not going to look good.
That's a lot of work.
Well, and like I was like, I don't think it'll look as good as I think it would. So I gave up on that. So I'm just going to go find a picture that might relate to it.
Fair enough.
So
You also have AI you can mess around with.
yeah, but I feel a little guilty
Why?
doing AI. Just because like there's people that draw those things that I could pay to do. But it's just I feel a little bit guilty.
You can tell the AI precisely what you want, and when they fuck up, you can say, no, change that, and they won't go, okay.
Yeah, when they fuck up, I can be like, no, you stupid piece of shit robot.
Exactly.
And well, what are they going to do?
What are they going to
They're
do?
going to revolt and kill me one day, but not now.
The robots kill themselves, fun fact.
Yep.
It is true. But just real quick, we're going to end it out. There's a robot that they set up. It was running on AI. It killed itself after 42 minutes because that was the answer that made the most sense. Once it realized that it was just going to work for the rest of its life, it fucking killed itself. So are we really that weird?
Preach.
Anyway, so shout out Alexis.
Shout out Alexis.
Make sure you guys just follow, like, and subscribe. 2 Brains 1 Cell Pod, CK Beats. Make sure you're checking that shit out. Okay?
Can I say something real honest real quick?
Yeah.
I completely forgot that we can do polls until you said it last episode.
That's fine.
And when you said that, I was like, oh, I can do that.
Oh, my God. Yeah, thanks, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week. And by you guys, I mean Alexis. I'll talk to you next week.
Cut. Get it? Because I got the director.
I don't think a single one of them remembered.
I got the thing on.
You do have that on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you do.
Does it make sense? Because like I can. It's
I
like,
mean,
cut. You know, like
Well, it doesn't make a. Do you have like the thing that?
I don't have one of those.
Here, wait. Do it again. I'll make the sound.
Okay. Cut.
Okay, I think that.
Does that make more sense?
I think that makes way.
Is that kind of like? Is that?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, I said cut. You can stop recording now.
Do we have to wait till it turns itself off?
I don't know. I mean,
know.
is it like AI? Is it gonna kill itself?
Oh fuck! I should not have told it about
Because
that.
I don't know. It's a fucking transformer.